Okay, this video is what an American thinks about Nepal. Okay, I was in Nepal for 5.5 months, but anyways, what I think about Nepal. Um, the Nepalese are very patient. I mean, this is kind of a thing with third worlders, but I really noticed it with Nepal, maybe because it was the first place that I saw the third world country. I spent a long time, but Nepalese will hang out forever. Like you'll have I stayed at this Thai massage institute, Center of Kathmandu, Center of Healing, and which I guess now is called Healing Hand Center, but it moved. But it was in a really cool place, like in a house, really cool house. And there'd be like these Nepalese who'd hang out and just like hang out. They'd like sit there with you and just sit there all day long, hang out. You know, that's kind of the thing about third world countries is people just hang out forever because they don't have jobs, so they'll just kind of sit there. And they're really friendly too, like really good, soft energy. You'll be like, "How's it going?" The Indians do this. "How's it going?" They'll be like, This means like, "Oh, whatever." It can mean like everything. Like, "How's it going?" "Good." You're like, "Are you bored?" "I don't know." But they're really friendly. They kind of know like English. They have pretty good at English. The Nepalese, they all speak English in India because I was like an English Commonwealth, English outpost, whatever colony. But I don't think the English ever actually controlled Nepal like they did England. So the Nepalese are kind of more not as. I've never actually went to India. I got the visa, but I heard they're just cooler. They're like more mellow. They like you more. And they were mellow. And they're really friendly. Like I had a friend who gave me a big old bag of weed. Just gave it to me. That I made like 270 joints out of. And there's weed everywhere there. Like there's this road between this hotel I was staying and the gym I went to when I was there. And the entire road, it's like right in the middle of the city. It's the road you take to go to Pokhara. The whole thing is lined with huge marijuana plants, like packed so thick you can't even walk in there, and they're like 10 feet high. And I bet you if you uprooted any one of those, you get high for ass. Like I found this big old marijuana plant right behind my hotel room, right outside my window, and I just uprooted it, and I was smoking on it for like 2 months. But a cool thing about Nepalese also is the trekking. There are these all these like the mountains are very 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 hilly and very 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 steep and lots of trees on it and very very populated with lots of villages in there, but no roads at all. It's like, swear to God, it's the best if you want an experience of going back to like ancient days, like thousands of years ago, then do a trek in Nepal, like the Annapurna Circuit. Because it's like they have these perfectly stone paths, and then between the cities, it's more like kind of like ways that you only walk to, that not even a car could drive, because it's just a path, and not even motorcycles are on it. Just you could just walk there, but then you get to these villages, like cities, like in the middle of the mountains that you can only walk to, that are like days walk away, like days and days and days walk from the civilization, and there's entire towns up there. It's crazy. And so they'd have like Main Street of the town, but instead of Main Street, it's like main path. It's wild. And there are lots of hostels for the tourists to stay at. And the only town that actually had cars was Johnson. But the only way the cars could get there was like people like flying cars in. There was no road there, and there were only like one car, and like a couple of motorcycles, because there was like an airport. But that was wild. But they're really friendly, like little kids, like chasing after you, when they see you, really friendly. And even though there were so many tourists walking through, they were still acting like like it was novelty to see tourists. But of course I was on my bike, which made me a way novelty, because I was like the only person on the bike there. But they're very oh no, where am I missing? Um, anyways, yeah, very friendly people. They, like my Nepalese friend who gave me all that weed. Like his parents invited us over to have a party, and they or a potluck, and they set up this entire elaborate potluck for us and gave us alcohol. I think yeah, we chipped in to pay for it, but I remember we got all drunk and puked on their roof, and they were just like there, like watching us, like we were, being cool, like we were entertaining them. But a lot of history there, like lots of um, old buildings from like the palace, palace area, like old stratified. Like there's one that had all these different layers. You go up just to some challenges to the east of it, which I guess where the royal family lived a long time ago. And yeah, it's really pretty. A lot of history. They had this little girl there who was like 9 and was supposed to be a goddess, like a reincarnation of a goddess. My mom went out there and visited me, and we went out and looked at it. And the girl, and she'd like stand outside, and there'd all these like tourists and even Nepalese there. I guess you're supposed to be blessed if you see her, maybe even. And she just like stood there, kind of like bored, like, oh, I gotta do this again. And then went back in. I guess they choose that she's a goddess because she doesn't have any freckles on her body or something. So yeah, but there were lots of car wrecks. Like they didn't know how to drive. Like every week you'd see a new photo of like a overturned truck on the road from Pokhara to uh, Kathmandu, and people dying and stuff. Luckily, I didn't feel like I was almost killed when I rode my bike out to Pokhara, but they go slower though, so you can grab on the back of the trucks as you go up the hill. But yeah, and then there was this also. They had like just lots of weird stuff there. They have like a nunnery there and I guess 30% were Buddhist and 70% were Hindu, but they had like a Buddhist nunnery there down the hill from the male monastery, which is really pretty up on top of the hill. And then they had this like Tibetan lady there who was like supposed to be like a witch doctor who like give you blessings and stuff, and she made me drink her spit. It's nasty. I shouldn't have done it because she was a bitch too. She slapped me in my face and like yelled at me. I went there because I had asthma. She's still slapping me and yelling at me and telling me to drink the spit, and then she's like, "Get out of here." I was like, "Now give me my money and get out of here." We had to wait like an hour just to see her. Because there was like hundreds of people there waiting, and with some friends, and they were like, "Oh, she had good energy though." I'm like, "Damn, man, drinking some old lady's spit." I think she was taking a piss. But the traffic there is really interesting. I've never been to India, but the traffic in Nepal was interesting, man, because you'd have these big roundabouts with no light, and people would just go in there, and it'd be like every man for himself, dude. It was like, that's how I am on my bike everywhere I go. You just blow through the stop sign, and it's just every man for themselves. But they had it worked out because it was a roundabout, so you just jump in there and have your way. But even in the intersections, it was like that. You just blow through and just dodge everybody. But it works out better there than here because they drive these little rickshaws, so they're a lot smaller, so there's less space you take up as you do that. Might be harder if everybody's in a normal car, but it's cool. Works out well, So anyways, that's what an American thinks about Nepal.